All right. I'm super excited. Today we are meeting T Tat, one of
Yeah,
the first climate tech entrepreneur I've got the chance to meet in Thailand, actually. So, welcome to Atlas Society show.
likewise, John. So nice to meet you today too. Yeah,
So, tell us about you, man. What do you do? What's
yeah,
exciting? What's the fire?
yeah. So let me introduce again. My name is Eric Titat Rangkachili. Yeah, I'm CEO of DeFire. DeFire is a platform that incentivizes farmers to stop burning crops that produce the PM2.5 that Thai people have dreaded for a decade. But to dig deep about it, so we learn a lot about the farmer insight that they don't want to do, but the reason that they have to do because poverty, yeah. Every year, farmer get very low income, right? And the things that we have to do is to encourage or to incentivize them to have the better livelihood first, and then they will stop or taking care of their environmental. So for now, we're using the carbon credit scheme to incentivize the greenhouse gas reduction from their activities. So it is a whole model of the defiers. Yeah.
Amazing. So, maybe a bit of background for people who are not familiar with Bangkok situation with PM
Mm.
2.5. Can you
Yeah.
explain the pollution level and how it is connected with the farmers?
Yeah. So actually, in Bangkok is uh, have faced the PM2.5. Maybe we heard that about the decade, right? But
So
most
PM
of the people
2.5
think,
is the
yeah,
pollution, right? This
yeah,
is
in air pollution, yeah.
right.
And actually it's not have exactly answer what the PM.5 came from, but it's have around three majorities of this. Yeah. First one, as the people in the city know, is like transportation, car, right? The internal combustion engine that produce the smoke. Yeah, it's the first one. But car drive every day, why it just happened just around the 3 months of the year. The second one is like industrial things, yeah, like factories, yeah. And the third one is the big majority is around almost 40% is from the open burning, and one thing is the crop burning, yeah. Farmer have to clear the land every year, yeah, and the cheapest way and the quickest way is the crop burning, yeah. And the reason that I told you before because they prefer it because it's the cheapest way. So if we want to solve the economic problem of the farmer, so we have to use the economic solution to solve this problem. And it cannot solve 100% of the cause of air pollution in Bangkok, but we hope that we can almost tackle almost half of the air pollution that we have to play. Yeah.
This is this is super interesting.
Mm.
Traditionally, we drive car, we think we're polluting,
Mm.
but actually, the pollution in Bangkok, and God knows how important this is. Everybody wear masks in Bangkok,
Mm.
right? Similarly to Beijing or
Mm.
in Vietnam as well. and
Mm.
and what's the discovery is for you is actually 40% of that pollution,
Mm.
that haze we can see on top of the city,
Mhm.
is actually coming periodically when the farmers are actually burning crops,
Mm.
right? And that's where the haze is the strongest, and that's where the pollution pikes are the highest, right? And that's
Yeah.
3 months per year. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's around 3 to 6, but actually farmer burn around 2 quarter of the year is the quarter
Um,
fourth and quarter first quarter, right?
right.
But when we face the air pollution is around our New Year's, December, January, February is the most tough month that we have to face. Yeah, so it's the same period that we have faced this problem. Yes.
Very interesting. And so,
Mm.
how are you guys tackling this problem? Like, how are you guys convincing the farmer then to not burn the crop? You mentioned
Mm.
you guys are using carbon credits.
Yeah.
Interesting. Tell us how it works.
Yeah, sure. So maybe I can start with why we choose this course
Yeah.
because at right, it's have around three main course,
Yeah.
but the first two courses many one focus on it to solve it, but about the farmers, it's a big population in Thailand, but also our main purpose is to stop hunger, stop fire, right? So the mechanic is we have to encourage farmers to incentivize them to using carbon credit and stop the hunger first. The mechanic is the farmer have to register with us, with our platform, with our app, and then you use the alternative way to clearing the land. Yeah, and then when they using the alternative way, we use the satellite data that monitoring the whole year. Yeah, and then we use it as a monitoring to verification the carbon credit. Yeah, for now we comply with the Vera methodology. Yeah, that we can trade the carbon credit internationally. And then when we sell the carbon credit to private sector, then we get the operation fees, 20% of doing it, and the 80% we give the farmer as a carbon point. The point that farmer can use as the redeem cash, redeem the fertilizer, or redeem the seed, or use as a collateral for the loan. So
Amazing.
the whole of it, yeah, it is the whole idea of the DeFi. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to hear this. I think this pollution is such a big issue. I wish you get more support, and I wish, yeah, I mean, I wish this startup can grow and solve that problem really, because then I don't need to wear a mask anymore. So it's a big stake here. So very cool. Hey, so for us who are not that familiar with the carbon credit system, can you explain to us a little bit how is this thing working in your country, in Thailand? Who is creating this carbon storage, or who is saving carbon? Who is reselling it, and to whom? Right? Where is that money coming from? Is it like up in the air, like Bitcoin, or like who is buying credits? Right?
Actually, to discuss about the carbon credit in the Thailand, actually it happened around 10 years ago since the Kyoto Protocol, right? But in Thailand, it's quite not active much. It have some scheme like CDM that happened, but it's collapsed when the Kyoto Protocol is gone, right? But for now, it's quite really popular in Thailand because of COP26 or Paris Agreement. Everyone talking about carbon credit, but most of it is focused on energy sector, like solar energies or wind energies or industrial to optimize that system. But about the sequest, because for now we have two sides, right? To removal and reduction. To remove the emission is a one way to that the factories or the energy side can do. But about the how to sequester the carbon to the soil or to the nature base is another story in another side also. For now, Thailand have the parties or entity that implemented the forest, like a community forest project to support the communities to protect the forest and get the carbon credit. But the farmer side is zero in Thailand. Agriculture is the main job of the people in Thailand. But amazingly, carbon credit from this side is zero. The cost of it because most of the farmers have like a small size of their area, like 2 hectares or 3 hectares per household. But to create the carbon credit scheme or carbon credit project, it needs a huge area, right? As you know, it has a high verification fees. to do that, we have to use some technology to collect all of the small farmers to join our project. And it is what we do for the agriculture sector of the carbon credit in Thailand.
Interesting. So you mean,
but
let's pause a little bit here so I really understand it. You're saying that today there is no carbon storage projects in Thailand yet.
actually it have, but is for the forestry project,
Okay,
like Mefaro
forestry.
Foundation do.
Okay.
Yeah, but for agriculture, it's not.
Okay. And so for the forest one, do they actually make money from carbon credits?
Yeah, actually they already start for like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, but for now it's first year that they can generate the revenue, because they do something like to pre-sale. As you know, for now the supply side is lower than demand side. It's just one out of four of the demand side. So for now, everyone is seeking for the carbon credit. So for now, yeah, they can make this scheme work now.
Interesting.
In Thailand.
And so,
Yeah.
where is that demand coming from? Who are the customer
Sure.
paying millions of US dollar for carbon credits?
Yeah. So for now, it have like the two main customers.
Okay.
Yeah. The first one is a private sector that want to offset their emission, because for now you can heard about the carbon neutrality, right? But to optimize their system to be the zero at the first year is not easy. So the carbon credit is the first one that they prefer to use it as the offset their emission to be carbon neutrality. This is the first market. Another market that do the carbon projects is about the national scheme, because every country have to commit to the UN to be like it's called the NDC, the nationally determined contribution that to reduce their carbon emission. Yeah, some country like Thailand, we call the host country, we can sell this credit to Switzerland. They just signed a contract or MOU between the country. Switzerland can buy the credit from Thailand to offset their country. So it's a thing that happened. It's have the two scheme that the most majority of the carbon credit trading. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so, how much money are we talking about here? What's the demand look like in terms of numbers? If, like right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, what's the gap between the demand and supply, just so we get some ideas?
Yeah, great question. For now, in 2021, the demand of whole carbon credit, include regulated market and voluntary market, is 851 billion USD, and it's will grow 15 times.
I'm gonna fall for my share.
Yeah.
Did you just say
851 billion USD in 2021?
Wow.
Yeah, it will grow the 100x in 200 in 2050.
Wow.
100x in 2050.
So we're
It is
talking about
next to me.
we're
Yeah,
talking
right.
about $1 trillion right here.
Yeah,
And this is supposedly growing 100x towards 2050.
till
So
2050. Yes.
You mean that your industry is gonna grow to $100 trillion next 20 years?
So because
No, wait. This is crazy. This is crazy. But
yeah,
are you sure? Where can I find this data? You know, can you educate us where to find those numbers? Because the only thing that I know gonna grow 100 times towards 2050, at least I'm hoping, is Bitcoin.
yeah.
Right? But carbon credits, really? That's crazy. So where can we find more about this? Like, where do you get all that knowledge?
Yeah. So to get back to the foundation of why carbon credit has to go higher and higher price.
Yeah.
Climate change is not the individual things. It is a global concern, right? It
Right.
is about the death of people.
Right.
So we all of the country, all the company have to help each other to get the temperature of the world lower than 2.
Yeah.
So to make it completely, we have to create a mechanism to stop it or to slower the temperature.
Right.
So the carbon credit is one that was discussing about it. So that's why the company really go higher and higher. But the number that I said is not from our company research, but it's from like a World Bank or Refinitiv or McKinsey. Everyone said the same, that the price will go higher and higher and demand will be bigger and bigger. Yeah, because many countries start to be the carbon neutral or set the timeline for net zero, right?
Yeah.
So everyone start to do it, and it will come. Whatever it takes, it will come. Yeah.
You really got my ear to pop up.
Yeah.
With this number. So no, I'm really seeing the future now, where we are on the way to solve climate change because of this financial incentive. And I'm being hopeful today thanks to this new idea. Very interesting. And so how did you get to start this? Like where did you get this idea? What's your background? What's your story before that? How did you get this inspiration?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for this question. So actually, for me, I worked for the social innovation sector for the 5 years. Yeah, I'm the organizer of the TEDx that promote the social innovation. People give the spotlight to this one, something like that. The next one, before I'm starting my startup, I'm a social enterprise developer at Mae Fah Luang Foundation, but most of Thai people know the brand is a Toi Tung in the northern of Thailand. Yeah. So my task is to taking care of the 200K right to reforestation project. How we use the business mechanism to solve the hunger issue. Yeah. And farmer that I have faced with is the maize farmers that producing or to deforestation to do that crop. But my job is how we can use the economic fruit or value added or the more sustainable crops to promote them to change the way. So we know that the farmer don't want to do the bad thing, but they don't have the choice. It is the mindset that I have when I work with. But when I back to Bangkok, the PM.5 is very popular. Everyone wear mask. And I just back from the one of the majority cause of PM2.5. As myself, when I stay in Bangkok, I'm the allergy one, that painful with allergy. I hate it. I hate the PM2.5. But when I back to the Nan province, the area that I take care, I know every farmer is very nice.